The flash of cameras illuminated the dark evening as Wright hurried his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, through the crowded sidewalk. They had just emerged from Tony's Pizza, their Friday night ritual despite his tight budget, when they encountered the commotion. A woman was desperately trying to shield her face from the relentless paparazzi, her security guard somehow separated from her in the chaotic scene. "Daddy, that lady looks scared," Emma whispered, tugging at Finn's worn jacket sleeve. Finn, a 32-year-old single father who worked 2 jobs to keep their modest apartment, felt something protective stir inside him. The woman was being cornered, photographers shouting invasive questions about her recent business merger and rumored relationship with a Hollywood actor. "Stay right behind me, Em," he said firmly, placing his daughter safely against the building wall before approaching the scene. "That's enough." Finn's deep voice cut through the commotion. At 6'2", with broad shoulders built from years of construction work, his presence was immediately felt. "The lady clearly doesn't want to talk. Back off now." The photographers hesitated, cameras still raised. One particularly aggressive man pushed forward. "Mind your own business, buddy." "Do you know who this is?" Finn stepped between the man and the woman. "Don't care, she's a person being harassed. That makes it my business." The woman looked up, her wide hazel eyes meeting Finn's. For a moment, everything around them seemed to fade away. She was breathtakingly beautiful, with dark chestnut hair cascading over the shoulders of her expensive coat. But what struck Finn most was the vulnerability beneath her composed exterior. "Sir," her security guard had finally pushed through the crowd, "I've got this now, thank you." Finn nodded and began to step away when the woman gently touched his arm. "Thank you," she said softly, her voice carrying a hint of something genuine that surprised him. "Dad," Emma called, breaking the moment. "Can we go now? I'm getting cold." The woman's eyes shifted to Emma, and her expression softened further. With a final nod to Finn, she allowed her security guard to escort her to a waiting black SUV. "Who was that, Dad?" Emma asked as they walked toward the bus stop, the night growing colder. "Just someone who needed help," Finn answered, already forgetting about the encounter as he worried about the electric bill waiting at home. He had no idea that Sophia Dawson, CEO of Dawson Technologies and one of the wealthiest women in America, was in her car asking her assistant to find out everything about the man who had just defended her without knowing or caring who she was. 2 days later, Finn was repairing a leaky sink at the apartment building where he worked as the maintenance supervisor. His phone buzzed with a call from Emma's school. "Mr. Wright, this is Principal Sanders. Emma is fine, but there's been an unusual situation. Could you come to the school?" 20 minutes later, Finn rushed into the main office, finding Emma sitting calmly in a chair, swinging her legs. "Dad, a fancy lady came to see me," Emma announced excitedly. Finn's confusion turned to shock when the principal explained that Sophia Dawson had appeared at the school, requesting to speak with Emma Wright. School policy prevented any unauthorized visitors, so they had called Finn immediately. "Miss Dawson left her card," the principal said, handing Finn an embossed business card. "She said she wanted to thank you properly for your assistance the other night." Finn stared at the card, bewildered. How had she found Emma? The thought made him instantly protective. "Dad, she was super nice." "She had pretty shoes," Emma commented as they walked home. What did she say to you?" Finn asked carefully. "She just asked if I was Emma Wright and said she knew my dad. Then the teachers made her go to the office." Finn's mind raced. While the woman had seemed genuine, her tracking down his daughter crossed a line. That evening, after tucking Emma into bed, he dialed the number on the card. "Sophia Dawson," answered a smooth, confident voice. "Miss Dawson, this is Finn Wright. You visited my daughter's school today." There was a brief pause. "Mr. Wright, I apologize for the approach. That was inappropriate of me. I only wanted to thank you properly for your intervention Friday night." "By finding my daughter's school?" Finn kept his voice level despite his concern. "You're right, it was invasive." I'm not accustomed to being unable to reach someone. I should have found a more appropriate way to contact you. Her candid admission surprised him. How did you find her? I had my team look you up. Again, I overstepped. Those photographers have been following me for weeks due to a hostile takeover attempt against my company. Your intervention gave me a moment of normalcy I haven't experienced in months. Her voice softened. Let me make it up to you. Dinner, perhaps, for both you and Emma. Finn's initial instinct was to refuse, but something in her tone sounded genuinely remorseful. Miss Dawson, Sophia, please. Sophia, I appreciate the offer, but I don't think that's necessary. It is to me, please. One dinner, a public place of your choosing. Emma mentioned Tony's Pizza when I briefly spoke to her. Finn hesitated, thinking of Emma. His daughter had been without female influence since her mother abandoned them when Emma was 3. A normal dinner might be nice for her, just pizza, tomorrow at 6. But this isn't going to become a thing, Finn said firmly. Of course. Thank you, Finn. When he hung up, Finn wondered what he'd just agreed to. He'd defended a billionaire from Paparazzi, and now she was joining them for their Friday pizza night. Life had certainly taken an unexpected turn. The following evening, Finn and Emma waited at Tony's. He'd explained to Emma that the fancy lady wanted to say thank you for their help. Emma had immediately insisted on wearing her special purple dress. Dad, is she a princess? Emma whispered, eyes wide as Sophia walked in, looking surprisingly casual in jeans and a simple blouse. Yet she still carried herself with an unmistakable elegance. No, sweetheart, she's a businesswoman, Finn answered, standing to greet their guest. For all her wealth, Sophia proved remarkably down to earth. She asked Emma about school and listened intently to the 8-year-old's detailed explanation of her science project about butterflies. She asked Finn about his work without a hint of condescension. So you maintain the entire apartment complex by yourself? Sophia asked, genuinely impressed. By day. I also work nights at the shipping warehouse 3 times a week. Finn wasn't embarrassed by his work. He took pride in providing for Emma, but he was acutely aware of the vast difference in their worlds. 2 jobs and raising Emma alone, that's remarkable. Finn shrugged. You do what you have to for family. As the evening progressed, Finn found himself relaxing. Sophia was intelligent and funny, with a quick wit that matched his own. She told stories about growing up with parents who started their technology company in a garage, and how she'd taken over after her father's death 5 years ago. The company's grown exponentially, but lately there's been a group trying to force me out, hence the paparazzi. They're trying to catch me in some compromising situation. That sounds exhausting, Finn commented. It is. That's why what you did meant so much. You just helped, no agenda. Her smile was genuine. When the bill came, Sophia reached for it, but Finn was quicker. This was our regular Friday night. I've got it. Finn, please, you can respect that. Something shifted in her expression, surprise, followed by respect. Thank you for dinner, then. As they parted outside the restaurant, Emma gave Sophia an unexpected hug. You should come for pizza again sometime. Finn began to explain that Sophia was very busy, but Sophia knelt to Emma's level. I would love that if it's okay with your dad. Finn found himself nodding, surprising himself. As they watched Sophia's car drive away, Emma looked up at him. Dad, I really like her. She doesn't talk to me like I'm a baby. She seems nice, Finn agreed, wondering why he felt disappointed the evening had ended. Over the next few weeks, Sophia joined them for pizza twice more. Each time, Finn tried to remind himself this was temporary. A billionaire CEO wouldn't remain interested in their simple lives for long. Yet each visit deepened their connection. Sophia brought Emma books about successful women in science after learning about her interest. She listened to Finn's concerns about affording Emma's educational future without making him feel like a charity case. One Friday evening in October, Sophia didn't show for their planned dinner. Finn told himself it was inevitable she'd finally moved on. Dad, maybe she just got busy, Emma said, noticing his disappointment. I'm sure that's it, Em. Later that night, after Emma was asleep, Finn's phone rang with an unknown number. Mr. Wright? This is Gerald, Miss Dawson's assistant. There's been an incident. Miss Dawson asked me to call you. Finn's heart raced. Is she okay? Physically, yes. There was a situation at her home with some particularly aggressive photographers. The police removed them, but she's quite shaken. She asked if you might come. I can send a car. Finn glanced toward Emma's bedroom. I have my daughter, miss. Dawson suggested you might bring her. She said Emma would be comfortable in the guest room that overlooks the garden. Finn hesitated. This was crossing the boundary he'd tried to maintain, entering Sophia's world rather than meeting on neutral ground. Yet the thought of her alone and frightened made the decision for him. We'll be ready in 20 minutes. The car that arrived was discreet, not the flashy vehicle Finn might have expected. The driver took them to an elegant but understated mansion on the outskirts of the city. Sophia met them at the door herself, her normally perfect appearance disheveled, eyes red-rimmed. Thank you for coming, she said softly. I'm sorry to impose. Emma, sleepy but concerned, went directly to Sophia and hugged her. Dad says hugs help when you're scared. Sophia's eyes met Finn's over Emma's head, and the vulnerability in them touched something deep inside him. Your dad is very wise, she replied. After Emma was settled in the guest room, falling asleep almost instantly on the luxurious bed, Sophia led Finn to a comfortable sitting room. They broke through the gate, she explained, hands shaking slightly as she poured tea. My security system alerted the police, but before they arrived, the photographers were pounding on my doors, shouting questions about the takeover attempt and my personal life. Finn gently took the teapot from her trembling hands. You're safe now. I know it seems ridiculous. I manage a multi-billion-dollar company. I negotiate with intimidating men daily, and yet a few photographers reduced me to this. It's not ridiculous, Finn assured her. Everyone has a right to feel safe in their own home. Without thinking, he reached for her hand. The moment their fingers touched, something electric passed between them. Sophia looked up, her hazel eyes meeting his blue ones. For a moment, they simply stayed that way, connected. Why did you call me? Finn asked softly. Because you make me feel safe, she answered simply. Not because you're physically imposing, though you are, but because when you look at me, you see Sophia, not the CEO of Dawson Technologies. Finn nodded, understanding perfectly. And when you look at me, I see a man who would do anything for his daughter, a man who stands up for strangers, a man who insists on paying for pizza when dining with a billionaire. A small smile played at her lips. A man I can't stop thinking about. The admission hung between them, changing everything. Finn felt his heart race. He'd been fighting his growing feelings for Sophia, telling himself it was impossible their worlds were too different. I should check on Emma, he said. Suddenly uncertain, Sophia nodded, releasing his hand. Of course. Standing in the doorway of Emma's guest room, watching his daughter sleep peacefully, Finn confronted his fears. He was falling for Sophia, not the billionaire, but the woman who got excited about Emma's science project and laughed at his terrible jokes. The woman who never made him feel less than, despite the vast difference in their circumstances. When he returned to the sitting room, Sophia was standing by the window, looking out at the garden illuminated by security lights. I've been keeping my distance, Finn admitted, because I didn't think someone like you could ever be truly interested in someone like me. Sophia turned, her expression serious. And what exactly is someone like me? Successful, brilliant, beautiful, wealthy beyond imagination. And someone like you, a maintenance man with a second job at a warehouse, a high school education, a struggling single dad. Sophia approached him slowly. That's not who you are, Finn. You're the man who works 2 jobs without complaint to give his daughter everything she needs. You're the man who defended a stranger because it was right. You're the man who pays for pizza he can't easily afford because of his pride and dignity. She stopped directly in front of him. You're the man I've been waiting to find my entire life. When their lips finally met, it felt like coming home. The kiss deepened, years of loneliness melting away for both of them. When they parted, Finn rested his forehead against hers. "This isn't going to be simple," he warned. "Nothing worthwhile ever is," she replied. The next morning, Emma was delighted to discover they were still at Sophia's house. Over breakfast, which Finn insisted on cooking despite the presence of a professional kitchen staff, they began to navigate their new reality. "So, are you Dad's girlfriend now?" Emma asked bluntly, making both adults choke on their coffee. Sophia recovered first. "Would that be okay with you if I was?" Emma considered this seriously. "Would you still come for pizza on Fridays?" "Absolutely. And can we still talk about butterflies and science?" "I would be disappointed if we didn't." Emma nodded decisively. "Then it's okay with me." Finn smiled at his daughter's simple requirements for approval, but he knew the reality would be more complicated. As if reading his thoughts, Sophia reached for his hand across the table. "We'll take it one day at a time," she promised. Those days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. Their relationship faced challenges from the start. The media discovered Sophia was dating an ordinary maintenance man, and the headlines were often cruel. Business associates questioned her judgment. Finn faced sideways glances and outright comments from neighbors and coworkers. Yet together, they weathered it all. Finn remained at his jobs despite Sophia's offer to help financially, unwilling to become dependent. Sophia respected his decision, while finding subtle ways to make things easier. A scholarship fund at Emma's school that Emma happened to qualify for. A promotion at the apartment complex that came with a better apartment and salary. 6 months into their relationship, the takeover attempt against Sophia's company came to a head. The night before the crucial board meeting, Sophia stayed at Finn's apartment rather than her mansion, seeking the comfort of normalcy. "What if I lose everything tomorrow?" she whispered as they lay in his modest bed. Finn pulled her closer. "Then you'll still have me and Emma, and your brilliant mind, you'll rebuild." His unwavering faith gave her strength. The next day, she successfully defended her leadership, partly by presenting a new direction for the company that would focus on educational technology for underprivileged communities, an initiative inspired by her conversations with Finn about Emma's school. That evening, they celebrated at Tony's Pizza, their special place. As Emma chatted with the owner's daughter, Sophia turned to Finn. "I realized something today," she said quietly. "When I thought I might lose the company, I was frightened, but not devastated. But the thought of losing you and Emma..." Her voice caught. "That would break me." Finn's eyes softened. "You're not going to lose us, but I've been thinking this arrangement is getting complicated. Emma's confused about which house to call home. I'm practically living at your place on weekends, but insisting on staying at my apartment during the week." "What are you saying?" Sophia asked, heart racing. "I'm saying..." Finn reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, simple ring. Not extravagant by Sophia's standards, but he'd saved for months. "I'm saying we should make this official, build a real home together." Tears filled Sophia's eyes. "Are you proposing to me in a pizza parlor, Finn, right?" "I am. It's where we began, seems fitting." His eyes held a question. "Unless you wanted something more elegant, it's perfect," she interrupted, slipping the ring onto her finger. "Absolutely perfect." Emma noticed the exchange and rushed over. "Is that a ring? Are you getting married? Will I be a bridesmaid? Can I have a purple dress?" They laughed, drawing her into their embrace. "Yes to all of it," Finn promised. The wedding was a compromise between worlds held in Sophia's expansive garden, but intimate and personal. Emma proudly walked down the aisle scattering flower petals before Sophia appeared in a simple but elegant gown. Finn, in his first ever tailored suit, watched in awe as his bride approached. They wrote their own vows, speaking of unexpected meetings, crossing boundaries, and finding home in each other. When Finn promised to protect her heart as fiercely as he'd once protected her from paparazzi, there wasn't a dry eye in attendance. The media covered the event from a respectful distance. Sophia had made it clear that intrusive coverage would result in exclusion from all Dawson Technologies events going forward. The photographs showed a radiantly happy couple and a beaming little girl in a purple dress. After the honeymoon, a 2-week trip to Italy where Emma stayed with Finn's sister, they moved into a new home together. Not Sophia's mansion, which held too many memories of loneliness, nor Finn's apartment, which was too small. Instead, they found a comfortable house with a garden for Emma's butterfly habitat and a workshop where Finn could pursue his newfound interest in furniture making. One evening, a year after their wedding, they sat on their porch swing watching Emma chase fireflies in the yard. "Any regrets?" Finn asked, his arm around his wife's shoulders. Sophia leaned into him, her hand resting on her slightly rounded belly where their second child was growing. "Only that it took a paparazzi ambush for us to meet." "I'd defend you all over again," he assured her. "I know," she said softly. "That's why I fell in love with you." Emma ran up to them, her hands cupped around a glowing firefly. "Look what I caught. It's like a tiny star." As they admired Emma's discovery together, Finn reflected on the unexpected journey that had brought them here. From defending a stranger against intrusive photographers to building a family with one of the most powerful women in the business world, his life had transformed in ways he never could have imagined. "What are you thinking about, Dad?" Emma asked, releasing the firefly and climbing onto his lap. "Just how lucky I am," he answered, embracing both his girls. "And how sometimes the most unexpected moments lead us exactly where we're meant to be." Sophia's hand found his, their fingers intertwining as they had that first night when she'd called him for protection. "From temporary bodyguard to forever," she whispered, and sealed the thought with a kiss. 5 years later, Sophia and Finn celebrated their anniversary by returning to Tony's Pizza with their expanded family. Emma, now 13, held the hand of her 4-year-old brother, Thomas, while Sophia carried their 1-year-old daughter, Lily. "Remember when we first came here, Dad?" Emma asked as they settled into their favorite booth. "I do," Finn replied, catching Sophia's eye with a smile. "Your dad was so nervous about having dinner with the fancy CEO lady," he told Thomas, who giggled. "And now you're not nervous anymore," Thomas observed. "Not about that," Finn agreed. "Now I'm nervous about other things like whether you'll ever learn to put your toys away, or if Emma will ever stop using all the hot water for her showers." The children laughed, and Sophia reached across the table to squeeze his hand. "Some things haven't changed, though. We still come here every Friday." Tony, the owner, brought their usual order personally. "My favorite family, how's my goddaughter?" he asked, tickling Lily's chin. The restaurant had thrived over the years, partly due to the publicity of being known as where the billionaire fell in love with the maintenance man, but mostly because Finn and Sophia had quietly invested in Tony's dream of expanding. After dinner, they walked to the nearby park, Thomas running ahead while Emma helped Lily toddle along. Watching them, Sophia slipped her arm through Finn's. "We've come a long way from that night with the paparazzi," she observed. Finn nodded. "Your protection detail is much better now." She laughed. "I meant us, our family." "I know what you meant," he said, kissing her temple, "but I'm still your best protector." "Always," she agreed softly. The headlines had eventually faded. Dawson Technologies had flourished under Sophia's leadership, especially after introducing an educational technology division that provided affordable resources to underfunded schools, a program Finn now directed, having discovered his talent for connecting with educators and understanding their needs. They still faced challenges. Balancing family life with Sophia's corporate responsibilities required constant communication and compromise. Finn sometimes still felt out of place at business functions, and Sophia occasionally worried she wasn't as hands-on a mother as she wanted to be. But together, they made it work. Their different backgrounds and experiences had become strengths rather than obstacles, each bringing unique perspectives to parenting and problem-solving. "Dad, come push me on the swings," Thomas called. "Duty calls," Finn said, giving Sophia a quick kiss before joining their son. Sophia sat on a bench with Lily, watching Emma show Thomas how to pump his legs to swing himself. Her heart swelled with love for this family. They'd created this beautiful life that had begun with one impulsive moment of courage from a man who had no idea who she was, only that she needed help. Later that night, after the children were asleep, Finn and Sophia stood on their bedroom balcony, looking at the stars. "I got you something," Finn said, pulling a small box from his pocket. "It's not a diamond, is it?" Sophia teased. "Because I've told you 100 times that I have enough jewelry." "Not a diamond," he promised. She opened the box to find a simple silver compass pendant. Looking at him questioningly, she waited for the explanation. "5 years ago, when we got married, you said I was your true north," Finn reminded her. "That no matter how complicated business got or how lost you felt, I helped you find your way back to what mattered." Sophia's eyes glistened. "I remember. This is to remind you that we'll always find our way together, no matter what challenges come." As he fastened the necklace around her neck, Sophia turned in his arms. "Who would have thought that one moment of you defending me from paparazzi would lead to this life?" "I'm glad it did," Finn said softly. "Even if those photographers were a pain, I should probably thank them someday." Sophia laughed. "Please don't. Your head of security would have a fit if you invited paparazzi to our house." "Good point. I'll just be grateful instead." As they held each other under the stars, both reflected on the unexpected journey that had brought them together. A chance encounter, a moment of protection offered without expectation. A billionaire and a working-class father discovering that what truly mattered wasn't wealth or status, but the family they built and the love they shared. And in that moment, as in every moment since Finn had stepped between Sophia and those aggressive photographers, they knew they were exactly where they were meant to be, protected in each other's arms forever.